Hi guys, hope you're all okay. Today I'm going to be doing the fall stroke autumn favourites tag. There's several kinds of this tag going around, but I'm going to be doing the Jaclyn Hill edition. I love her, I just think her energy is amazing. There is one question in here that isn't really relevant to me, but I'm going to keep it in and try and give my best answer. And I'm going to try not to ramble too much. First question is favourite fall candle. I have to say I don't think I'm going to keep up with saying fall. I probably will say autumn. But yes, favourite autumn candle. I have three. The first one I think is kind of accessible to most people regardless of where you are in the world. And it's by Yankee Candle, so these can be quite pricey. But this is the scent Salted Caramel, which technically I suppose you could have all year round, but to me it feels autumnal. It's a very strong food candle, which I know some people will love, some people hate. I don't know if it tells you anything in any more detail than Salted Caramel. No, it doesn't. It is sweet, but it's got a deep scent to it as well. I can imagine some people would hate this. I love it. Another one I have to mention, which I haven't got one here to show you, is by Home Bargains, which I believe you can only get here in the UK. Every season they bring out candles. It's very similar packaging to the Yankee, but the sizes are, they do a big one, but it is smaller than the larger Yankee size. And last autumn they brought out a bright orange, like a gaudy orange coloured candle, and I'm quite sure it was called, it was like pumpkin spice or pumpkin scare or something like that, and it was delightful. It didn't have any real spice scent to it, it was more of a pumpkin butternut squash kind of smell. And I stockpiled them because they're seasonal, they don't bring them out all year round. But unfortunately, for some reason those, or my back pile of them, my backups shall we say, are actually stored in the spare bedroom on top of the wardrobe, and I can't reach them. So I couldn't get one down for the video. The third candle is actually a Cornish brand called Curnow Spa. Looks like that. You can actually get these now in some boutiques in London, and a lot of posh spa type hotels up and down the country stock them, but you can buy them online. My friends own this company. Helen is so talented. But yes, this is called Ginger Biscuit, and it smells like gingerbread men, ginger biscuits, and I love it. And it's like, it's sweet enough. Sometimes I think ginger scented candles just get a little bit too, I think people put a lot of musk in with them maybe, but it literally just smells like a proper ginger biscuit. I love them. The second question is favourite lip colour, and my answer might come as a little bit of surprise. We all know I love a red lip, but if I had to pick a time of year for red lip, it would be more of a Christmas rather than autumn. I do like a more browny toned lip for this time of year. So my favourite colour is going to be what I am wearing now. Now this is where I get annoying. It's actually two lipsticks blended together. The first shade that I layer in this is by MAC, and it is Russian Red. It's quite new, so it still smells vanilla-y. It is a beautiful colour. We'll wear this all the time, all year round on its own. I love it. It is a matte. Oh yeah, it is a matte. I was going to say it's a retro matte, but it's not. It's a matte. And as such, I do find MAC matte lipsticks quite drying, so I normally have to apply a lip balm. However, to get the shade I'm wearing, I blend it, or on top of it I put this colour, which is super cheap. This is by Constant Carol in the shade Coffee Shimmer. Rimmel do a very similar shade. and it's a very pretty brown colour. Now I was going to say I can't wear brown lipstick. I can, I have done, I did a lot in the 90s, but I now feel it's a little much for my complexion. However, the two, let's do that, the two colours blended together I love. And this is super moisturising, the Constant Carol one, so you don't need to put a lip balm or anything with it to counteract the matte lipstick. And I have seen Constant Carol lipsticks go for like less than £1 on certain discount shopping sites, so you can pick it up really cheaply, and it doesn't matter if I'm only going to wear it a few times blended with this because it's so cheap. But yeah, they're my favourites. Now the third question is favourite fall drink, and I think most of the world it will be going pumpkin spice latte, and I do like pumpkin spice latte, but at the moment I am very much drawn to hot apple juice with cinnamon and nutmeg in. I love that, but I haven't picked it as my favourite because again I feel that's more of a Christmas vibe. So my favourite autumn drink has to be hot chocolate. I have so many different flavours, but for today's video I'm showing you the Asda Chosen by You reduced sugar hot chocolate. Because I do drink so many hot chocolates, I have to kind of pick the low sugar stuff because otherwise it wouldn't be good. So yeah, if I'm gonna do the hot chocolate, I like to go all out. So it will be the hot chocolate and then obviously squirty cream on top. Again, this is the reduced fat Asda squirty cream. This video is not sponsored by Asda, it's just what I have in my fridge. So yeah, this is the Asda reduced fat real cream, and obviously that goes on the top. And then on top of that, I normally have a bit of cinnamon or nutmeg put on top of the cream, and then marshmallows. Again, these are by Asda Chosen by You range, but yeah, love a good hot chocolate. The next question is your favourite blush. Now, I don't know if the product I'm going to show you would be my favourite autumn blush of all time, but it is the one I'm going to the most at the moment. This actually came in a recent glossy box. It's by the brand Jelly Pong Pong, which I really enjoy, and it's called their Play Paint, and it is a lip and cheek tint or stain. Just says velvety lip cheek cream actually. I'm going to say it's a stain because it has some massive staying power. You only need the smallest amount. I have got it on today. It blends really nicely, but it is a super bright colour. Yeah. And I'd actually say it kind of, once you've blended it, it kind of goes to a powder consistency, which I really like. I think there's nothing worse with a cheek stain or a lip stain is like when you're applying it and all of a sudden it's kind of running down your cheek, which I think like the Benefit One cheek tint can do if you put too much on and you end up with that like streak of colour down your face. But yeah, really like this one. It smells like bubble gum and I just think it's really pretty. It kind of gives you that just came in from the cold flush on your cheeks, which I'm really enjoying because again, if you watch me on a regular, you know I, up until recently, had a very bad tan. So I like having that English rose kind of look back. But yeah, that is definitely this year's favourite. Next question is favourite fall clothing item. And I do have an item picked out, and if you've been watching the vlog channel, you'd have seen this a lot. It's this jumper or sweater. That's offensive, sorry for the accent. Yeah, this pink jumper from Tesco's. It reminds me very much of like a cricket jumper, if that makes sense to anybody. The only problem with this jumper is it is a little short, which is my own fault because it didn't come a little short, but after being in my tumble dryer, that happened. But it's still wearable. I would prefer it if it was a little longer. But I really like the colour. It's not really an autumn shade, but it's lovely. The next question is favourite fall movie. And I don't have an answer for this. I love zombie films, so any of the above. And I also I like scary films, but I kind of like a certain type of scary films. I like things like Saw and zombie films and vampire films. I don't like the kind of scary films where it could actually happen. Does that make sense? Like, zombies and vampires aren't real, so that's okay. The next question is favourite fall TV show. Now, my instant reaction was to say Walking Dead because it comes back. And I love Andrew Lincoln with a passion. I have loved him since I was about 14 and he was doing This Life, back when he still had an English accent. And I love Walking Dead. So that is kind of that one. However, I kind of want to say X Factor. A little bit because I'm thinking that Rita Ora is doing amazing this year. I love her on the show. But also because it is kind of like the countdown to Christmas, because you know whoever wins X Factor is going to kind of almost guaranteed to be Christmas #1. But yeah, so it's Walking Dead and X Factor. Now this is the question that doesn't really relate to me because it's favourite Thanksgiving food. We don't do Thanksgiving here in the UK, and I've never experienced Thanksgiving because I've never gone to the States. So I know minimal about what they eat. I do know that they eat turkey, so I'm picking turkey because it is one of my favourite foods, to the point where I can tell you locally where you can buy a full turkey, because here I want to say in the UK, but definitely where I live, supermarkets don't sell full turkeys all year round. Like, you can go and you can buy a whole chicken. You can't do that at Tesco's in Cornwall or Asda or Morrison's. They don't sell full turkeys all year round. You can buy like turkey breast, and Morrison's sell turkey legs all year round, but you can't buy a full one. But me and John, we like having roast turkey as a change from any other kind of roast meats. And locally to me, Asda will be selling them first. They already have the dates on the website, but they don't sell them quite yet. So I'm going to say turkey. That was a long answer. However, just to add a little bit of extra into it, my favourite Christmas food at the moment, what I'm craving, is pigs in blankets. I don't know if they do pigs in blankets at Thanksgiving. I think they should, because they're amazing. If you don't know what pigs in blankets it's little cocktail sausages wrapped in bacon, normally served around the roasted turkey. Oh. And the last question is favourite Halloween costume that you've ever had. Now, this is quite hard because as a kid, I wasn't allowed to do Halloween, like trick-or-treating. I'm not really sure why. I should probably ask my mum. I'm not sure if it's a religious thing, because she always had sweets in for the other kids to do. Like, if kids come and knocked on our front door, she always had sweets to give them for trick-or-treating, but I was never allowed to do it. But then I was never allowed to do Penny for the Guy or carol singing unless it was with the church. Obviously the church didn't do Penny for the Guy, but they did carol singing. So I'm not sure. I just think maybe she didn't want me going out at night with strangers about. What my parents used to do is, me and my cousin, because she was born the same year as me, she only lived a few doors up from us, we'd come to my parents' house and they would do like a party tea, so there'd be like cakes and scones and sandwiches and things like that, and we'd play board games, and sometimes we'd dress up, but it was normally like homemade costumes made with bin bags. 80s problems. So yeah, I didn't really experience fancy dress, because then, when you get to your teenage years and it's all, I'm a sexy schoolgirl, or I'm a sexy nurse, or I'm a sexy zombie, and that was more about how much cleavage stroke leg you showed. There wasn't any real skill put into it. Last year, me and John went to a Halloween party. John went as Shaun from Shaun of the Dead. I'll insert a picture. And I actually really liked my outfit. I don't really know what I was. I wore a zombie t-shirt by Betty Rocket and I dreadlocked my hair. I put a lot of eye makeup on and I wore a lot of temporary tattoos on my arms. I'll insert a picture. So yeah, I had a really good time, so I'm going to say that was my favourite ever costume. And that is the end of the video, and I have been rambling on for over 20 minutes, so this is going to be editing fun. I tag anybody who wants to do it, because nobody tagged me to do this video, but I wanted to do it, so I took it for myself. So I empower you to do the same. If you've enjoyed this video and made it all the way to the end, if you've made it all the way to the end, put zombie in the comment section, just so I know. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Bye guys.